Ignasio Liscano. Remember when I used to call you Ignasio?
Yes, very much so.
That's hilarious.
What's going down, bud?
Oh, nothing, man. This is welcome to the podcast. Thanks for setting
Thank
aside
you.
some time. Yeah.
Absolutely appreciate you having me.
Well, yeah, it's just this thing, man. I wanna kind of the people that I have the closest to me. I kind of want to pick their brains a little bit.
Right on.
I
Okay.
think it's good. I think it's good for me and good for people who might want to watch this.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
And like okay, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Shit
When okay,
happens.
so back to Ignasio. Okay, so when what are your what does your friends and family call you? Iggy?
Um, People at work will call me Iggy. A lot of my friends that I still have from like high school still call me Nacho.
Nacho?
Yeah.
Ignacio?
Mm-hmm.
No
And
kidding.
yeah, yeah. The only Ignacio. Anytime I hear my mom will call me Ignacio. We use my full name, but really, my wife and my mom are probably the only ones who still will use my full name.
Besides the podcast. Besides the podcast.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Should we start calling you Nacho? Are you grown out are you grown out of that or what?
No, I mean the folks who call me that have always called me that, so I answer to it.
Right.
Folks call me Iggy, I answer to that.
Right.
Some people just call me Nacio, and I answer to that. So
Right.
it just depends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. My parents probably call me B more than anything. I'd
Okay.
say.
Okay.
But like everyone calls me Wilkie. Like
Right.
everyone that I grew up with calls me Wilkie, and I think both my brothers it's the same thing.
Oh, really?
I think both my brothers, most of their friends call him Wilkie too.
Call him Wookie as well.
Yeah. It's just one of those things. I wonder if my dad was called Wilkie growing up.
Hey,
I wouldn't be
probably.
surprised.
It's probably
Yeah.
a common nickname for you guys.
Yeah, I guess it's just one of those. It's one of those last names that kind of sounds like a nickname with the E on the end.
Already? Yeah,
Yeah.
already.
Yeah. So when was it that you first discovered my YouTube stuff and how let's do a
Oh
bit of a
God,
recap,
man.
of what's happened over the last 5 years.
Oh shit. You were still wearing the white conscience hats. You were still, golly, I want to say, it had to be, well, shit, before the pandemic for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was like would have been around
God, I don't know.
2018, 2019.
I was going to say probably somewhere around 2018, 2019. Yeah. Just got into
crazy.
it. The poetry, that's the first thing that I
Right.
gravitated. You were the only one that was doing original poetry as well as reviewing,
Music.
tracks and music and things like that. And
Maybe we should get back into that then.
I mean, nothing wrong with it.
Like, dude, I got thousands of poems that I've written right on my bookshelf, right up here.
Right. We just got to make sure that they're appropriate.
Usually when I get the first sentence under my belt, I know if it's going to be or not.
Right.
But
Right.
maybe it would be a good idea to start bringing some poetry back into the podcast.
I mean, what's wrong with that?
When could we do it though? Like when?
I know. I was thinking like the only time that would
Voting. Yeah, voting. Read a poem.
Voting.
A couple.
That's the only thing I could think. That's the only thing I could really think of that would make sense as far as that's concerned.
Yeah. All right. Maybe we'll start thinking about that. It's funny, man. It's always evolved, and like it started off as me. Like I was talking to Ren a couple nights ago about like you have this like personality that you want to project,
Right.
and it becomes like it's kind of fake, like you can't really. You're almost putting on it comes with the nerves and getting used to being behind the camera, but like
Yeah.
I burnt out on it. I burnt out on like the reaction game, trying
spiel.
to get views,
The spiel. Yeah.
saying the same shit every video. And
Remember when you were plugging Owl Creek Coffee, you were plugging. What was the T-shirt? The T-shirt one that you were doing.
Spread Love Supply.
Spread Love Supply. Dude, you had your books.
Yeah.
You had, dude, you had at least 3 or 4 promo spots you were doing.
Yeah.
On top of
taxing.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it was.
It's a lot of pressure, you know. It's a lot of pressure to perform like that, and it's funny how, you know. Of course, now I got all this fancy gear and everything sounds great and everything looks great, but I don't give a shit anymore. It's like by the time I figured out how to use this shit, I was just kind of
you don't even care.
No, like I want to get Toxic on and talk about cannabis. Like that guy is a cannabis encyclopedia. Like we could talk for a fucking hour just about cannabis.
Okay.
Toxic.
Okay.
Like imagine having like Nico in Australia. There's already an MC from Australia that wants to come on.
Nice.
There's a few writers that I worked with in the past that want to come on this show.
Nice. Okay.
And there's a whole bunch of people that by tomorrow night, I have my old roommate coming on. Like 50 years ago, my roommate from like 2006. How many years ago?
Okay.
Yeah.
From 2006.
We cooked together at the Keg. You know the Keg? You guys have the Keg in the States?
Mm-mm.
Oh no, is that a Canada thing?
I mean, it must be. Yeah, I've never heard the Keg. I mean, we have kegs, but we don't. Never heard of a joint called the Keg.
You've never heard of a restaurant called the Keg?
Never heard of a restaurant called the Keg.
It's a steakhouse, and dude, have you ever seen the movie Waiting?
I have.
The keg is like waiting.
Oh shit!
Because there's like 7 guys online cooking. Then there's a salad kitchen. Then there's a prep kitchen.
Right.
So there's like 12 cooks, 15 cooks on staff at all times.
Right.
Besides like the last 3 or 4 hours when just the line cooks are left. So the shenanigans that went on, like fucking, I got bat winged. I got actual bat winged at the Keg. Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, damn, I unplugged my headphones. Just 1 second. Yeah, man, so it's going to be funny stories. Me and him, Jody is his name. We used to like play guitar together, and like he played guitar, I played drums actually. It was before even before my ex-wife. So if you want to learn, it's going to be some funny times tomorrow. But like me and you, we have like we brainstorm a lot. About the show, of course, because we've been doing this show. But like, when was it first that you came on first, like came on live first? Because you were for a long time you were just the guy in the comments that everybody knew, right? When things were big with my old channel, when it was really
right.
And so what led to
probably. What led to it, I think, was more along the you just started asking people that requested a lot. You know,
come on the show.
Yeah, if anybody wanted to come on, he'd love to meet your audience. It was kind of like that kind of thing.
Right.
And then I don't know how it turned to. We did a pre-show meeting to kind of just like feel it out and see.
Just me and you.
Yeah, we did a pre-show meeting. And you kind of wanted to feel it out, and you wanted to just kind of let me know what your ideas were for the format, and basically, what you were in the driver's seat. You were just going to let me know, kind of cue me when I was going to answer, and kind of things like that.
I really fucking took control of the situation.
Yeah, but I mean,
you had to.
You had to. Yeah,
I kind of had to. Yeah.
Yeah, you had to. So we did one. And after we did one, you emailed me again and asked me if I doing the behind the scenes lists and producing and stuff first.
Really, what I needed first was a producer.
Right. So I did do the producing, but instead of just producing backstage, you decided, you know what, fuck it, you can produce, but just come on camera with me.
Right. Yeah. Man, shout out to a lot of the producers. So that was Reaction Radio. Is when you.
That was Reaction Radio. That's when. Oh shit. Who was producing? Who ended up taking over production?
Russell.
No. Before Russell.
Oh.
What was his name? Crap.
Oh crap.
The red. You know what I mean? The redhead. Was he redhead guy? God dang it! What's his name?
I can't think of it either, dude. My memory doesn't go that back.
He's got. I remember he's a white guy. He had like freckles. Oh God, what was his name?
A white guy with freckles I had on the podcast?
He was the producer guy.
Producer
But
guy.
what was his name?
Does he still hang out a little bit or no?
No, we haven't seen him in a long time.
Oh, because there was Russell, there was Chelsea, oh yeah, what was his fucking name?
Fuck.
He was like an ICP guy, wasn't he?
Was he an ICP? I don't know if he was an ICP. I don't remember if he was an ICP guy. He had some.
Oh my God, Sherman.
Motherfucking Sherman.
Fucking Sherman.
Sherman.
What is Sherman doing? I still got him on Instagram.
Sherman. Yeah. So that was way back in the day. And that's when he used to have to remind you to take a piss.
Yeah. Because I go for like 6 hours straight. Yeah, he was basically my secretary for a while.
Pretty much for a long while. He was the show admin for.
He was the show admin for like a year. He was just like
running the show. At least, yeah.
And I was just going, man, good times.
Yeah,
and then YouTube just didn't like it. I think if you look at like Mr. L. Boyd, big reaction channels, they kind of get tapped out, then get picked on because it's such a controversial way of putting out content.
Well, I think
everything you do is copyrighted material. Everything.
Well, I think, but I think in the beginning, there was an issue because when you were doing when not just you, but in general, when people started doing reactions and stuff, they would let the song play all the way through.
Yeah.
Before they would do some type of reaction.
We do that
right?
now. That's
right.
How we do it
but
now.
Right. But what I'm saying is when everything got started, that was an issue. Like, you know what I mean? They
so
felt
you're
like
talking about the actual signature of the song playing throughout the
entire
song.
Throughout the entire song. Right. So now, like, that's why a lot of folks used to do like 15, 20 seconds of the song, stop, break it down, do 15, 20 seconds of the song, stop and break it down because they started getting tagged for copyright claims because the record company started feeling, well, they're just listening to my music secondhand instead of listening directly from me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then after a while they started easing up on that and then, all that kind of bullshit. And
I wonder if you could get away with just like having a little I have a little mini CD player. It's like this big.
Mm-hmm.
And just only listen to songs that you buy. Like I buy CDs, dude. I buy CDs any day of the week. I think
it would still be like a rebroadcast. They would see it as a rebroadcast,
and that's why I'm just kind of like fed up with that shit. Like you have to work so damn hard to make money on YouTube. Like I was making 700. I was paying Sherman,
right,
and you, and I was paying all the producers. And I was taking home like $500 a month.
Right.
I was putting in like 40 hours a week, easy.
Right. Yeah.
And everything was copyrighted. But then it's just like once you finally give up, it's like that's when you're prepared for battle. Yeah. That's when you can actually put out good content.
I think if we do keep doing it for fun, the way we've been doing it, to learn about different MCs, to promote and foster hip hop the way that we've been trying to, I think if we stick to that formula, YouTube will leave us alone.
I think so too.
You know what I mean?
They have been. They didn't like my last channel. They know that it's the same channel. It's the same email address.
Right.
Or no, different, same Google account. I don't know.
I think it's by one character, right? You just changed it by one character, really. I think the email.
Yeah, I'm not.
No, because you went from Brendan. You went from
BJW, conscience at Gmail's banned.
Right.
Conscience at gmail.com, which is what I got my email to email me to because it's the one that's on my spam accounts.
Okay.
So if anybody sees this and wants to go on the show, they'll have to message my spam account, which I don't check as often. but that email scrolling across the bottom of the screen that is the one that's banned on YouTube.
Right. Well. So much for that one.
Yeah, I did some stupid shit, dude. I don't know. It just gets get all fired up.
We were testing the waters. I mean, we really tested the waters on some things, though.
Yeah, we did test the waters. Yeah, I shouldn't have done some of the things that I did. I shouldn't have said some of the things that I said.
In hindsight, yeah, maybe not.
But you know what, man? Mainly, what got me in trouble was streaming the radio station when I opened the food truck. That's
How
what got me
so?
all. That's what got me all the copyright strikes because I'd have the radio station playing in the background, and I'd just stream. It was an online radio station, and I'd stream the food truck, like just stream. I streamed for like I'd stream
Right,
for 8 hours, right?
right.
And that ongoing music being played kept on getting me copyright strikes. And for the first while, I already had two from other stupid stuff,
Right.
and they gave me a third one. And then I didn't know what I did wrong, so I just kind of kept on going business as usual. And then I realized,
Oh,
then I realized after the fact that must have been it. That must have been it.
right,
You
right.
know,
That's yeah.
so that was stupid. But that's what happens. You live, you learn,
You
and
do.
you know, I listen to a lot of podcasts.
What up, Chuck? Chuck is in the chat there.
I'd love to have Chuck on too. Be great to
Yeah.
have Chuck on.
Heck
Yeah,
yeah.
Chuck brings some fire hip hop.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Jesus, like he's the reason I know about Giroux the Damager. He's a regular on. I listen
He's
to him.
he's a formidable requesting opponent.
Yeah, no kidding. I suck at my own show. It sucks.
Oh man, I was gonna say though that Just Allah track that you just threw in.
Yes,
I think
know.
you are gonna ruffle some fucking feathers with that
Oh,
one. I think you have some song of the night material right there.
Just a Law just got on my radar. When's that
Yeah.
coming up? What
You still have a couple shows. Still have a couple shows for that one, but still.
Yeah, it was probably Chuck that showed me Just a Law too.
No, I think Just Allah came through when you were doing the short shows.
Oh,
So like Pick and Choose or Lethal or somebody like that is who threw Just Allah in.
those are gonna be hard to get to. Those are gonna be more like vacation, when I have time off.
Well, I mean, I'm still going to be throwing 5 or 6 of them from each show into our regular shows too. So,
Oh yeah, for sure.
you
They're still
know,
getting used. Oh, they're still getting used. Just
yeah.
you can bang them out so much quicker when it's a solo show.
Oh yeah, for sure,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. So I mean, what direction should we take? Should we because now we got the super chats, right? So what are we gonna do with that?
I know, man. That's
Danger zone.
it is. It's almost like
It can ruin a
if it's
show.
yeah, it's almost like if what we're doing right now isn't broken. So like if somebody just wants to be nice and appreciates what we're doing and they want to give us
Just
a tip,
tips.
cool.
Tips.
Cool. You know what I mean? If you like what we have to say, if you just want to support the channel and I mean, great, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like I told you, sometimes money just screws everything up.
Yeah, it does. It screwed the last channel badly.
You know,
be careful. We gotta be careful of that.
Mhm. Even even the Patreon thing was kind of like, in theory,
I was just trying to save me money. That's all I was trying to do.
I get it. I get it. But like I said, in theory, the Patreon thing works, and if you have a system for it, and whatever. But for us, I don't know if it was something that we probably should have tried.
No, we should have just left it alone.
But you live and learn.
It would be nice to make like some kind of big super chat where something happens. Where it's like $30 or $40 or $50 or something, and something big happens. I just don't know what to do.
I mean, if you did something where like somebody gave you like a $10 super chat, they could have their song play. They could bump the next, I mean, as long as it's not a crew song, they could bump out one of the other songs and get their song played next. You know what I mean?
Bump out the last one and get the one played next.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when we get to the community page requests, at that point, the first person who super chats whatever you feel is fair will get to jump the line and have their song done next.
Yeah, that does make shit complicated sometimes.
It does. That's what I'm saying. So there's and it
pisses people off.
It pisses people off.
It makes the person who paid really happy and pisses everybody else off who didn't pay and just wants to have a smooth show.
They just wanted to contribute to the vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. The community's growing though, slowly. But
absolutely. But I think it's growing the way
exactly as we planned.
Exactly.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it, dude. Over the last 5-6 years, if there's one thing I've learned, it's how to do YouTube. You know, I know how to make
Organic.
the yeah, I know how to get big fast. I know like look at Presto kills it, dude.
Oh yeah.
Presto kills at 105,000 subscribers, but even still, all copyright content. So
Yeah.
what do you do with it? You know, besides let people watch it. That's all there is. And that's all I really that's all I really want anyway. Right? It's just for people to watch it. We're making this content, just watch it and try and learn something about whatever, relate to something.
I mean,
Whatever it is.
unless we became the home for the underground MCs to debut their music, you know what I mean, things like that.
Yeah.
That's the only different type of thing that I can see
Well, and
is
that's Joe's on that, man. He's got his ear to the underground, finding the featured artists every week,
right,
and he likes doing that.
and he's good at it.
He's real good at it.
He's good at it.
And I can tell he just loves the show. He loves hip hop. Lady Poetic loves the show, loves hip hop. Chuck loves the show, loves hip hop. You love the show, love hip hop. Me love the show, love hip hop. But it's funny, dude, because like even Joe, like when I met Joe, it was like the first year I even listened to hip hop. You know, and just like right away, he like was doing tracks with me, and
yeah,
we got to get on an album, that's for sure. And a new album has to come. And like, who's the? Oh yeah, John Connors offering
yeah.
verses for
He was
discount.
offering verses. Yeah, he was. Yeah,
What was it again? $500.
like $500 for 16.
16.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I wish I could make beats.
Mm.
I wish I had Joe's got some beat makers in his closet, but I got no beat maker. I suck at making beats, dude.
What happened to XOZ?
I could probably still get in touch with him. He's kind of like I don't know. He's like he's in this group where it's like all beat makers, and he's like more. I don't think he really likes sharing it as much.
Is he in like a
he
collective or?
Yeah, I think it's like a collective with a bunch of other guys. I don't know. I could get in touch with them though. I have him on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm sure there's got to be some forum out there somewhere that you can get in contact with some up and coming producers who would want to
give away just collab, like because I wouldn't want to sell like with my band. Oh, killer show last night, by the way, bro.
Nice, congrats, man.
Oh, but we want to sell CDs at shows, and
right.
Dude, right. It was so cool. It was at a curling rink. I get up there, there's like 20 people there. I'm kind of like, we start soon, you know. This is rough. And slowly, my guitar player Phil, he goes up and starts playing his acoustic guitar, and he's playing all really popular tunes, right? Like he knows a whole bunch of tunes.
Sure.
He even played some Tool, just playing acoustic guitar, and my drummer was kind of drumming with him a little bit. And then as towards the end of his set, all of a sudden there's like 50 or 60 people, and everyone's ready to party. You know, like they came to see us because my drummer lives there and he knows everybody.
Right on.
So at the start of our set, there was a couple people dancing, like 2 or 3 people up at front, and like maybe 60 or 70 people sitting down in the seats.
Right.
And by the end of the show, everyone was standing up and everyone was partying, dude.
Right on,
dude. It was such a good time. And then as soon as the show was done, I went out for a smoke, and the manager of the theater in town. Now, you know how I've been saying I'm building a studio. I'm going to be able to high quality audio stream my band live in like studio quality audio. None of this through a microphone crap. We're going to be plugged right into a preamp, right into a computer, right into your ears, right?
Right.
Like that. And so the guy who manages the theater has this on a big scale, like in a venue. He does this. He records live music professionally.
Right.
So I got in contact with him. Got the Facebook page, and then the organizer of this big music festival. I forgot what the music festival is called, but there's a big music festival up here, like once a year in the summer, and they want us to play on I guess it's the B stage. I don't know if the A stage is like paid, but anyway, they're sending us a contract, and it's like a paid gig. Yeah. So
well, all right, man.
But people during halfway through the set, You know, some of the girls and guys that were dancing in front were like, you on Spotify? Like, we got to hear this again. And I'm like, no, we don't even have an album yet. You know, like we haven't even recorded an album yet. So it was exciting.
But
Dude. It was
but
fucking
at least
awesome.
you have an opportunity now and a space to record an album now if
Yeah.
you
And
if you
not
want
only that,
to.
the curling rink guys, they're not used to parties like that, right? It's a pretty low key establishment. And they're like, whenever you want to do this again, come back whenever. So we're gonna make it like a
Oh, I'm sure
regular.
their bar made buku money from
Oh,
you guys.
I wouldn't be surprised if the bar made a couple grand. There was,
Oh,
you know,
easy.
like there were 60, 70 people there drinking for like 4 hours.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm sure they made a killing. So they said anytime we want to do that again. So that's gonna be like that's gonna be our spot. We're gonna be the local band,
There you go, man.
throwing parties at the curling rink. It's great. They
There
got
you
like
go.
three. They got like 3 cans of beer, a couple coolers. You know, it's pretty low key, but it's a good place to start. So
Yeah, dude.
our plan is to once a month, once every 2 months, whatever we can organize, do a show there, host a show there, and get a following. Because now McNeil, there was like a bunch of people there that are my age, younger and older. Like the age range was like 25 to 60.
Nice.
Right?
Okay.
Like it was a big age range,
Mhm.
and we play like pretty classic rock and roll
Right.
type of
Right.
stuff. So it's easy to listen to, right?
Right. Right.
And that spider web's going to start being built. Like those people are going to talk. So the next show I expect 90, capacity's 100. So if we start selling out that place, then we'll have to start selling tickets. Then we can start making some money as a band and getting paid for the work that we've done over the last
Mhm.
4 years. We've been working on these songs, and then once we sell out that play and we're making a bit of money to do that, we're going to use that money to do a live album, pay for the services of them recording us a live album
Damn.
at the Gateway Theater. So
And then
it
you
will be
and then another marketing ploy you could do is whoever buys a ticket gets a coupon to come to your truck, and they get
for
like
sure. Yeah,
and they get like
yeah.
a 10% discount for
Yeah,
coming to
10
your truck because they went to your show.
Oh, that's a good idea. A discount certificate rather than a dollar value certificate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good because then they save as much as they buy. They buy more, they save more.
They save more.
That's funny.
Oh.
Yeah, it's good. And yeah, the woman who makes my signs was there. My a whole bunch of customers were there. The one guy in town is a sound engineer at the Gateway Theater. I just think it sounds cool to say Rumble Beach Rebels live at the Gateway Theater. You know, like
Right.
and I think that's like, you know, hundreds of people, probably 200 or 300 people. I'm not sure.
Right on.
I bet you the capacity is over 150.
Right on, man.
So that'll be a big show, you know, and hopefully, but we're not going to do that right away. We're going to get a fan base first, so that when we do that live album, there's a couple hundred people there.
Right.
And because last night it was just kind of, it's our first time playing outside Port Ellis.
Right.
Right. So like, and it went really well. Like it sounded really good. And when we first started playing, I think we put shit too loud. I think that's as simple as that. We just made it too loud.
Mhm.
Last night, the levels were great. You could hear what I was saying really good. And the recording sucks that we did last night. Like, I don't know what happened.
I could hear your voice when you were singing.
But only
I
my
could hear
voice.
you. Right.
But only
Everything
my voice.
else is pretty distorted. Yeah.
And that's from like background banter from the crowd.
Mm.
You know, people chatting, shooting the shit, having a good time with the show.
Mm-hmm.
And that just made the sound quality shit. Absolute shit.
I hear you.
Absolute shit.
Well, but I mean, like you said, you were recording on pretty primitive piece of equipment as far as
just my
streaming.
cell phone.
Right. What I'm saying, you know what I mean?
I gotta figure out a better camera to get for recording live.
Don't you have a GoPro that you could test?
I sent that motherfucker back, dude. I hate that thing.
Okay.
It sucks. Remember when we had a Logic on the podcast and he had one that looked great. I thought the camera just looked really good.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. It made me like it's like a fisheye lens, so my forehead looked real big and my nose looked real small. I look like an alien.
Fucked you all up, huh?
Yeah, I look like a goddamn alien. I did. Oh man, all the good old days. So Reaction Radio. Then we had the East Coast versus West Coast.
Oh, dude. I really think that's something that some folks would like to see again, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
East Coast versus
But
West Coast.
it only really applies to 90s hip hop. Because now that's not really a thing
Oh
anymore.
yeah, I know for sure. But I mean,
as soon as guys like
I don't know, because we weren't really taking songs that were directly like I wasn't looking, or you weren't looking for a song that was directly dissing one side or the other. We were just putting this East Coast song up against this West Coast song, and we were letting the folks decide who they thought had a better song. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's something we could consider.
Well, okay, so
imagine. So the first. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so let's see. Regularly right now, because I know Presto's on a leave of absence. It's you, me, Chuck,
Lady
Joe, Poetic. Lady Poetic, and Kaiser, right? That have been pretty regular.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's 6.
That's an hour.
Well, what I'm saying is that's 6 people, right? So that's if every week, say like, this week you're picking a West Coast song.
Oh, the host could do it.
Yeah. So like this week would be like Wilk versus Joe. You know what I mean? Or
that's a good idea.
Chuck versus Kaiser, Iggy versus Lady Poetic, or you know what I mean? And then we rotate, and like you won't always pick an East Coast track. You'll have to pick a West Coast track every now and again. I won't always pick a West Coast track. I'll pick East Coast tracks every now and then. You know what I mean? Like
West Coast will be hieroglyphics and basement. That's pretty much what I'll pick.
That's all you know. You're like, that's all I know.
There you go. Psycho Realm. Yeah, that's all I know. Yeah. Yeah.
But see, this will make you have to expand and go looking.
Yeah, exactly. But we got to include the South in there too. And Canada. Remember I was asking about Mercules. From Surrey, from just like a 7-hour travel, not even with the ferry, about a 6-hour travel.
Right.
From where I am right now. And just got signed by Death Row.
Oh, good for him. That's what's up.
So Canadian, that's the one with like Snoop and Suge Knight, no,
Suge Knight is no longer part of.
Well, no, but that he was.
Right.
Yeah, of course. And then who else is on that label?
I have no clue who he's signed right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
No clue who he has.
But Mercules, I guess, is on there. So. But I've only listened to a couple tracks. I actually follow him on Facebook. Yeah, I just think he's a funny guy. He's Canadian. I want to support him.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's really up our alley. I think it might be a little. I don't want to say soft.
We've heard I don't think so, because we've heard him. I remember hearing him on a song with Twista that we did.
Twista.
One time, yeah.
He was on a song with Twista. Mercules was.
Yeah, it might even be on Rumble still.
He collaborates a lot.
But yeah, I remember us hearing a song with him, Twista, and Crazy Bone.
Okay.
Maybe. Who else was on that song?
That's wild. That's a wild track.
I know it was him and Twista for sure, but I cannot. There was a third MC. I'm probably wrong about Crazy Bone.
Like, was he fast rapping, or was Twista taking it easy a little bit?
No. Mercules can spit fast. I've heard him spit fast before. Like like I said, I don't really know enough about him to really have an honest opinion on his skills and what I really think about him as an artist, because I haven't heard a whole lot from him. But from what I have heard of, I haven't heard anything that I was just like, who the hell is this guy, or what the hell is this? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And that Twisted track must have been something memorable, because I remember him being on it,
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't know.
Man, you got a good memory, man. I wish my memory was as sharp as yours.
Oh, shit. My memory is actually pretty shitty, man.
Yeah. You know what I plan on doing with this podcast, too? I just, like, speaking of memory, just, like, I want preserving memories. Like, Josh, rest in peace, would have been...
Yeah, rest in peace, man.
He would have been my first guy.
Yeah, for sure.
But Brendan Solomon, a kid that I support, not a kid, he's a 37-year-old man. But I supported him since he was a very young man, and I was a young man as well. And we've always maintained a friendship for years and years and years and years. And he is a YouTube creator. And I'd love to have him on, just talk shit. Just talk shit with Brendan. He has Down syndrome, and he's just like one of my best buddies. He's just like
right on,
most creative guy ever. I could have my mom on this show, And
For
that
sure.
reminds me, like I wanted to talk about. We're almost getting towards the end of the hour here, and there's still some stuff I want to talk to you about.
Sure.
Um, Me and you have had some pretty deep conversations about like philosophy of support
Hmm.
and like trauma from support and consequence of decisions
Right. Right.
and like you're a social worker.
Yeah.
So what was that path like? Like what were you working in social work before college, or was it an after college
Well,
thing?
okay.
Did you
So
were you,
okay.
were
So
you front lines for a while too?
my journey to social services was kind of different, I guess. There's a lot of people who automatic like right away they know I want to go to school, I want to serve, and this is what I want to do. I want to become social worker or psychiatry, something like that, right? And along those lines. Excuse me. Before I was actually a sociology major, and the reason I was a sociology major was because the patterns of social groups always interested me. Why certain social groups did certain things, why certain cultures had norms the way they did, things like that. That always kind of interested me. Um, I was in restaurants while I was going to school, and I could only go to school at night, so it took me quite a long time just to get through the general ed portion of
Like
the very the
your
first two
undergrad or
years.
whatever?
Yeah, basically, yeah,
Yeah.
getting through the basic foundational classes that are needed right before I can
Right.
even get to my bachelor's program. And so it took a little while to do that. But again, I was a sociology major because I just really appreciated and really enjoyed looking at social patterns and things like that. And I started becoming an in-home support worker with my dad because the people that were working with him, they were just really treating him really bad and stuff. And he just asked me, "Hey man, can you help me out and do this?"
What's up with your dad?
My dad has a lot of just mobility issues and things like
Okay.
that. He's an older man now, but I mean,
Okay.
he had polio when he was a kid,
No shit.
and yeah, this was like
What is polio? What is it?
polio is a virus that attacks your oh gosh, what like your nervous
Central
system,
nervous system.
yeah, things like that. And he couldn't walk for a little while
Jesus.
as a kid and things like that, and
Hmm.
so he ended up having some degenerative discs and things in his back due to the virus and things like that from back in the day and stuff like that,
Right.
right?
Okay.
But he had some issues and he had some things and he was having trouble, working with people because either they would steal from him or they just wouldn't help him
Yeah.
out and take care of him the way he
Yeah.
needed help. So um, I was doing that. I was doing that for him, going to school, and then I was still kind of working in 9 to 5. So as I was starting to help him, I started to really see some of the disparities and things that were going on and some of the things and issues that we were having just trying to get his basic medications and just things that he needed just to maintain his activities of daily living. And it just kind of really started to interest me as far as the systems were concerned as to how
Allocating
yeah,
funding.
like yeah, all of that kind of stuff, just like wait a minute, like how where's what's going on here? Why are these systems so fudged
Hmm.
everywhere, just everywhere, right? And that got me more into like the social work aspect of it, and then I ended up transferring my major from sociology to social work, and then I got into my bachelor's program after that through Fresno Pacific University,
Okay.
and got my BSW through them. I was working at the county as a case manager during one of the time I was going to school. So I had a caseload of about 30 individuals who were anywhere from schizophrenic to borderline personality disorder,
Hmm.
severe depression, anxiety, just different
But you were
severe mental illnesses.
sorry. What was your role in their life?
I was a case manager.
Case manager.
Yeah, I was a
Okay.
case manager.
You were kind of allocating support from support workers and counselors and
I
uh,
was providing rehab services as well. So anytime so I was the only case manager that was involved in dialect behavioral therapy
Yeah.
and at the time
I took some of
because
that. I took some of that when I was getting
it's cool
diagnosed.
stuff, man. It's cool stuff.
Dude,
It's cool stuff.
I was not meant to be in that room with all these people with borderline. That was a dangerous.
It's not all only for people with borderline, but
Okay, that's why I was taking it, because they were
more
checking.
more often than not, you are going to find folks who have been diagnosed with borderline personality, but
Yeah.
it's not only for.
You know what, dude? My diagnosis is not just as easy as schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is basically like an umbrella for what it is.
Mhm,
When I originally got diagnosed, it was a major depressive disorder with mixed features.
mhm,
Mixed features was new to the DSM recently,
mhm, mhm.
to describe mania and depression going on simultaneously, and
Right, right,
not separately,
right,
simultaneously,
right,
which is like essentially my body was lazy, my mind was manic.
right.
You know, like, and I couldn't focus on physicality because I was so manic inside my mind.
Mhm,
And but then uh, 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 I mean, they put me on a schizophrenic medication, and then the second psychologist that I saw was just like, well, you have your mixed features, your mania, schizophrenic tendencies,
mhm.
and your depression is manic depression. And
Okay.
then so I started taking the schizophrenia medication, and it was great. The mania just shut right off. No noises, no. It
Right,
was
right.
like, it was kind of like distortion, to be honest. It wasn't voices or anything. It was more like distortion, like just like turbulence
Right,
almost.
right, right, right,
That's the
right,
best way
right.
to describe it, is turbulence. And then that shut off, and then all I was left with was nothing. Like
Mhm,
my depression wasn't like, oh, woe is me, I'm so sad, or like I have nothing to live for. It wasn't like that.
mhm,
My depression was absence of thought, like
mhm,
catatonia,
mhm,
like catatonia. I just stare at a wall for an hour,
mhm.
or go manic and write like 60 poems. So and but the whole time I was doing that, you know, I was engaged in support work, especially with
Right,
Josh, especially
right,
with
right.
Josh. So so you're done school. What's your first job? Like
Like
right
I
out
said,
of it.
I was working as a case manager while I was doing my bachelor's program, so it was actually really nice. I was able to apply the concepts and theories that we were learning in school
Mhm.
real time
Right.
because of my caseload and the different folks that I was working with. Part of my role in the older adult unit that I was in was the housing specialist. So
Right.
I was also in charge of housing for the whole unit and finding housing resources.
And you're
Not
still doing
just
that now.
I am still doing that, yeah. So not just my own caseload as far as finding housing and helping people get housed and things like that.
Mhm.
If any of the clinicians needed a referral for housing, they sent them over my way, and I would work out. I would do applications with them, and I would do whatever's necessary to help them
Right.
try to find housing,
Right.
whether it's permanent supportive housing, whether it was shared housing, board and care, depending on what the level of need was for them.
Right.
I would get the referral from the clinician or from my supervisor, the clinical supervisor, saying, "Hey, you know what? I need you to get a hold of. We need to find housing for these individuals." So that was one of my roles. That was partly my main role. I had a lower caseload than other case managers because I had the housing aspect on my plate.
Right. Right.
So that was what my main part of my role was for the county and the team that I was on. I got involved with the program that I actually manage now. I got involved with the program as a community as a community kind of work team member and
Yeah,
coming
like a
in.
builder, community builder.
Well, I came in and I was became a part of the team that they had, and my part of was to help them build what the housing should look like for Fresno County and what the folks are that we are working with, right? And a lot of the individuals that I got a chance to work with.
What do you mean what they are? Do you mean like culture wise,
What do you
status,
mean? What do you
like
mean?
do you mean like what do you mean like the people that you have in Fresno, like how were like what were you basing the housing on, the similarities between them, like
Depending on depending on their needs
their
and what they were
needs.
what they were
Okay.
qualified for. So
Okay.
and so a lot of times the folks that when I first got involved with this program, the, again, my part of the I guess you could say helping in the program portion was helping to to build what the quality standards should look like, or helping to build what we want to see the program do for the folks that we're trying to help get housed.
Right.
Okay, so I started working with them on that, and it was just a thing that my boss sent me to as a representative from our unit to be a part of this team.
Yeah, you're always traveling around, eh?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's kind of cool. I'm always doing
Yeah.
something, going here, there, going everywhere. Um, but then I eventually they reached out to me. The organization that facilitates the program, they reached out to me and asked me if I would was think about coming aboard with them. And I came aboard with them at first as an outreach coordinator, and so I was in charge of growing the program through outreach and stuff. So my strong suit is the relationships that I can build in the community, knowing
Right.
my community. Just, I guess you could say, the gift to gab, I guess is the way some people would put it.
Rest in peace.
Um, absolutely right. So being able to work with different areas and my upbringing and where I grew up and my knowledge of the lower socioeconomic areas of Fresno helped me in that area, because I was able to connect with different sides of town and
Right.
understand what they're going through, because
What's
I'd
going on?
yeah,
Ground zero. Ground
right,
zero.
I'd seen it, I lived it. I lived in this lower socioeconomic area my whole life, so I know what it was like to be on food stamps and to have government support,
Mhm.
eat government cheese, things like, what I'm saying. So
Right.
I know what the struggle is,
Hmm.
and eventually the person that was my manager, she moved on and moved on to something else, and they asked me to step into the role, and I've been managing the program now for, well, we just got our second contract, so this is my fourth year managing, I believe.
Right on, man. Well,
Yeah,
congrats. You're making a serious impact, man. And
thanks, man.
it's funny how all of that experience applies to our show. Community. You know,
Community. Yeah,
we're housing people, dude. We're giving we're giving a place for people to be, you know.
yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Important.
What's up, Chef? What's up, Russell?
Russell, we were just talking about Russell.
Yep, yep, yep,
Former producer of the show, Russell.
yep, yep.
Um, right on, man. So that's good to know. I never knew that. I've known you for 5 years. I never knew any of that stuff. I just
Yeah,
always
yeah. I mean,
assumed.
that's yeah.
I was more like frontline support worker, personal
Hmm.
support worker, community support worker. I was a CSW for
Hmm.
extended family for 12 years and or 11 almost 12 years. And my coordinator was a social worker.
Okay.
So she
Okay.
was the one coordinating the services for the people she
Right.
supported.
Hmm.
I happen to support about 8 people on solo contracts, independent of each other, nothing to do with each other. So
Right.
I was driving around the city, and the whole time that I was doing that, driving around the Tri City, the Cambridge, Kitchener, Waterloo area in Ontario, driving from person to person to person to person, working on with them whatever they needed help with. It was I mean, you can name it, you name
Hmm.
it, dude.
Hmm.
You name it, I've helped someone do it, you know?
Yeah.
And that includes bad stuff too. But I was just
Right.
like, whatever, dude, I'm your hands, I'm your whatever. You want me to do it? Let's do it. And I did that for 12 years, and I was kind of like a cutting edge employee. There's no doubt about that. I still use my old boss as a reference if I'm ever applying for a job. Like I use her. I mean, I use her for a reference on my last job doing the drug counseling in
Right.
Port Hardy,
Right.
and then all along the time that I'm driving around all over the city from house to house to house to house supporting people, I was also working palliative and hospice cares. So I'd be going I'd be going from washing a 98-year-old passed out, barely living man's body
Mm-hmm.
to taking a dude with Down syndrome to the coffee shop or to the library or something. It was just like
Yeah.
it was a bizarre time, dude. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I never knew what the hell was going to happen on a daily basis. It was great, but it
But you
was
know why? Yeah. Also, you know why that was perfect for you though, because you were so manic at the
so
time
manic.
that you were doing
I
it
could
that
do it.
you could do it, and
Yeah.
it satiated the need for something different all the
Yeah,
time.
it did. It really did. It really did.
You know what I mean?
And I've seen it all, dude. Like as far as disabilities go,
Yeah.
and I've seen the entire spectrum from the
Well,
most
I mean,
severe to the
working
most
with my
minor.
dad, helping my dad. I mean, you kind of really understand a little bit more about what he's going through and being a paranoid
Yeah.
schizophrenic and
Okay.
things like that. So yeah, it's been a journey.
You've
It's been a
seen it,
journey.
dude. You've seen it.
Yeah, it's been a
Mine was
journey.
so quiet, dude. My sickness was so quiet. It was so personal.
Yeah.
It was so private, you know. I was so embarrassed of it.
Well, man, that's a part of the
I
stigma,
think
man.
a lot of people do that. It is a stigma. It is a stigma
Mm-hmm,
put upon. It's
mm-hmm,
ableism, dude. Is what it
mm-hmm,
is.
mm-hmm.
That's why I got the tattoo on the side of my neck. I
Right on,
got
man.
what side is it on? There it is. I got that for Josh before he died.
There you go.
And my buddy Mike, both my old two roommates. Both two of my roommates and best friends, like Brendan, Josh, and Mike. Those are all three guys that I supported for many years. Very personal relationships. You know,
Right,
like
right,
I've had my fingers in their butt. Let's just say it. You know, like
right.
that kind of stuff, right? And still, well, Josh passed away unfortunately last year, just past a year. Um, and the other
Yeah,
three
rest in
guys, I
peace,
still,
Josh, man.
yeah, rest in peace. He's the man, dude. Me, dude,
Whatever
I
happened to his coffee company?
I still got it right here. Look at this. There it is.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm never deleting it.
Is he? Did anybody take over for him, or did the company close?
No, I think it just died with him, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know if it really ever took off, to be honest.
Mm.
But it was he was always had a way to make money. He was always making money, always starting businesses. Yeah, and yeah, Lionel. I mean, he gave me and Lionel and Emily a place to live
Mm.
when I was in
Hey,
a bad place.
really quick, I just want to stop and acknowledge Chef. That's amazing, dude. I'm so glad to hear that. But
What's
just
this?
he just started therapy through BetterHelp, so and he said it's so hard to ask for help, and it
Oh,
really
good for
is.
you, man.
Yeah,
It was the best
that's
thing I ever
amazing, dude.
did. And Chuck, give yourself or Chef, it was Chef or Chuck?
Chef.
Chef, give yourself 5 years and don't give up till you do that because it takes that long. You know,
Right on.
like I look at the last like I was saying to Ren on the podcast a couple nights ago. A big fucking book of poetry and brain trauma and drugs. You sandwich those 500 poem books together, and they are mental illness from start to finish.
Right.
And like I am the best I've ever been, dude. The best.
Right.
That's the only reason I'd ever start doing a podcast like this
Yeah.
because I have nothing to hide, man. Absolutely nothing to hide, and it feels
And
good.
And yes, Chuck, Owl Creek Coffee does not cure anything.
It does not. I said it did, and it got me a strike. Remember that?
Dude,
Say
that I
it.
remember. Dude, you know, yeah, I remember.
But I can't believe that got me a strike on YouTube. That was like
you have to remember what was
obviously
going.
joking.
I know, but
It
you
was a
have to
pandemic.
remember
Oh,
what was
it was a
going on.
pandemic. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know,
I get
I know.
it too, but you gotta be careful,
Yeah.
man.
Gotta be careful. Okay, buddy, let's wrap it up. We got a big
sure.
podcast coming Tuesday night.
Tuesday night,
8:30 p.m. Pacific time. We are into 8.1, so the
Yeah.
2024 season is officially starting on this Tuesday. Ignacio, what do you think, man? What do you think of the new podcast? Good thing to do.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
With all the people I know, I might as well spread some knowledge from people.
Well, I think it's kind of cool that you're bringing your audience into get to know a little bit of the folks that you rock with, and get letting them get to know you on a different side. It's not just the the fun stuff all the time. Like
Yeah, it can't be because
we got real things going on in life, people.
Yes, we really do. You know, you're a father of 3 or 4, 3. Four.
Three now, three now,
Three now with a baby.
3 now.
So a son, a daughter, and a young daughter. I got a son. I own a business. You're a social worker. You manage shit. We got tons of stuff going on, and you know the podcast is pure entertainment. This is the real
All
shit.
right. Hey, Chuck. And Chuck says, "Buckle the fuck up for my opening track on Tuesday." So I'm looking forward to it.
Is he first?
Yeah, he's opening up the list, man.
Always a good idea to open up with Chuck.
Right, set the bar.
All right. So everybody, going to Kentucky, I have my old roommate from 2007, Jody Powell, coming on the show tomorrow. We'll see you then. Peace out.
Peace out.